Very good Monday morning, and a very special birthday to my brother, who reaches the grand old age of 55. Happy birthday, kid. So, this morning I was watching, take these off, I'm too close to the camera. I was watching Blunt Ted Late Night Edition. He was in a maze. He's gone down a new route, Blunt Ted, and he had decided to have an adventure, to travel somewhere brand new. And he took a train to Leicester, and he went and explored this maze with where they were growing corn. And he was meant to do a quiz. And the one thing I always say is this. I say this to you all the time. When I watch anybody who is a content creator, from the start of the video all the way to the end of the video. Now, this morning, I left them a few messages in the comments, and I was thinking, where's the hype button? I did give him 1,800 hype points. I did find it. And I posted his video to my Facebook profile page, which is it's lowercase, Paul Gallant 1. And I'm going to share him on the likes of Geordie Nation, Our Neighbourhoods, and many other pages. And here's why. I do the same thing for all content creators. Adam P, Magpie Channel TV, NUFC Matters, etc. Why do I do that? Well, as I explained yesterday, you need to let this sink in here, because I'm going to mention somebody else in a moment, okay? But it's important. The reason why I share all of when I'm watching a video is this. If I watch all of the videos, and all of the adverts, YouTube gives the content creator a share of the adverts. Isn't that simple? Yeah. Now, 9 times out of 10, or 10 out of 10, that's how high I do it. And the reason why is because that's what I expect from you. Yeah? YouTube is a business. And years and years ago, when I was growing up in Newcastle and being passed around like a parcel, different places, different homes, etc. Did I ever think that at some point I would have my own YouTube channel. No. Now, I'm watching currently the last remnants of BBC Breakfast to find out what the weather's going to be like today. There's a storm coming in from the Atlantic. Now, I like to explore. I do. I like to explore because that goes back to when I was a kid. That's why I like to explore. You see, being bounced around different places away from home. One thing I'm going to say to you is this: there's a lad, Stephen Graham. Yeah? Now, the Emmys were on last night, and Stephen and the cast of a show about a troubled young kid won lots and lots of Emmys. That's what you get from me. Because that young lad in Stephen's show, yeah, that's hard. Really hard. This kid was plucked and thrust into his role. And that's why Stephen and the rest of the cast won so many Emmys. And in the speech, he said, I'm just an ordinary lad from a place called Kirby. And if you always have the belief in your dream, anything is possible. So well done to the entire cast. And well done to a young lad from Kirby. You know, I think Kirby is around about Liverpool because that's the accent I picked up while he was talking on stage. And, you know, most people don't have a dream. They don't. I did. And my channel, yeah, came to life in 2011. And lots of people turn around and say, oh, you've got all this content. Yeah. And how long you been on YouTube? It doesn't matter. What matters is this. As I'm going to say in my live at 11:30, you have a vision. Yeah? Now, when you have a vision, normally what I would do is the vision would be there. Blank canvas. Yeah? And why? Why do I have a vision? Because I think just a little bit different. Like, you know, all of my colleagues who are also content creators. You know, we have Through Black and White Eyes, who began their journey with Paul Ditchburn, John Sinclair, P.D. Proudlock. And in the beginning, they all were wondering, am I doing the right thing? Yeah, with their YouTube channels. And the Four Horsemen, and they all went their own separate ways. But the likes of Paul Ditchburn, very successful. Through Black and White Eyes, P.D. Proudlock, John Sinclair have claimed, yeah, they all need support. And that is you watching their content from the very first second you click start. All of the content, the adverts, right the way to the end, where the little symbol turns around and says replay or what's the next video. That is YouTube. Now, the more people do that, yeah, there's a new thing called hype. Yeah, hype puts smaller content creators on a leaderboard. And this is to a new phase from YouTube, and it's about more people watching videos. Now, one thing I'm going to say to you all is this, yeah, from Adam P, Steve Rafe, Rubenstein, Matty Renton, Tyneside Life, Gallagher Shots, all the way down to where I am. Yeah? On Facebook, I used to be on Twitter. I used to be. And what I would do on Twitter is share their LinkedIn, etc., 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 to give exposure to them in one hope. And that hope was this. If I'm sharing you, you share me. Two ways. But I had a problem with LinkedIn. Shared a video the community didn't like. It was true, but they didn't like it. So I got cut. Did I stop? No. Will I stop? No. That is the drive. That's the ambition. You know? 2020, when the world changed. We're now in 2025. And the world has changed again. And think about it. Yeah? All that time ago, you see, I keep saying to people, yeah, about confidence of being in front of the camera. It's dead easy. Because you push yourself You push yourself because you want something better. That's it. You know? From a kid who came from the south part of Benwell, because Benwell has an upper and a lower. Yeah? In the lower part, basically, it doesn't exist anymore. They tore down the old part, rebuilt it, houses, streets. But I always give Benwell a mention. There are many other estates I've lived, but because that was the first, that's why I always give it a mention. And I always will. See, my nana always said to us when I was growing up as a kid, no matter where you go in life, no matter what you do, always have your feet planted. So you don't become something different. Plant your feet and always remember your roots. Now, 11:30, yeah, it's a few hours away. But to all of those I've just mentioned, even Stephen, who has just got an Emmy, well done. Superb. Because your hard work has got you that award in your hand. Not bad from a kid from Kirby, as he said on stage. And it's having a dream and following that dream. If you can do that and stay focused, the world is your oyster. Yeah. So what I did was I have like Geordie Nation. There's no content there yet because I need transport to get to do content. And like Blunt Ted Talks Late Night Edition, yeah, the little channels, 100% mags, yeah, and all of those smaller channels give them a little bit of help. Because this is one of the things where I keep saying, yeah, I am in a YouTube content creators bootcamp where up to 100 people from everywhere want to learn, want to explore. And, you know, the odd times I'm a little bit late because I'm doing something else. But I always nip in. And if I get there early, there's a lad from Spain, Barrio. He is Instagram. And one thing I keep saying to him is this. He wants to learn English. And I said to him, Rosetta Stone. I also explained to him because we're normally the first people in the pool. Yeah. Told him about the meme coins, which a lot of you laugh at. I think this: if you can find a way to expand and you're brave enough to try it, you can laugh and laugh and you can roll across the floor like a hyena. You can. But the only thing that is actually happening is you found something funny and you're rolling across the floor. But who's laughing at you? Nobody. And that's the honest truth. You know, if people walked in as you're rolling across the floor and they turned around, what are you doing down there? Oh, I just saw this lad from, you know, from Nottingham, and he's on about all these wild things. That's what I'm laughing at. If you look at the core, what I'm trying to achieve is to help other people, just like that kid from Kirby who picked up an Emmy last night. You know? Because we want more. That's simple. So, you know, when you're watching my videos, when you're listening to my music, it's written, the words are written on a pad like you've just seen before. There's no arrangement. It's just boosh, tell you. That's why, as my channel grows, I can then turn around and have somebody edit the video, pay them a wage. I can have somebody drive the vehicle to Newcastle while I'm in the back doing a video. That's paying a wage to an editor, to a driver, somebody to hold the camera while I'm in Newcastle. Do you get me point? You see, you start somewhere, and that's what you want to do. You want to rise. So there's 2,300 videos. They're not all brilliant. No. It's just me and a camera, wherever I am. So that's just a little bit. See you all 11:30. And like I keep saying, subscribe, spread the word, because come the year 2037, you're still going to be seeing me. And the hope is, not only do I have the subscribers I want, but I've also got memberships. That's important too. So, see you all 11:30, and thanks for watching.